Hello students, welcome to Department of Chemistry. Today we are going to deal with the competitive exam online classes. So in this class, let us see Unit 1, some basic concepts of chemistry, where we are going to discuss questions of level 1. Let us discuss questions one by one. Let us see the first question, that is azithromycin drug is used for treating dash patients. So we have four options. Option A diabetes, option B AIDS, option C jaundice, and option D tuberculosis. Azithromycin is a drug that is used in the treatment of AIDS. So in the first class itself we learned that. So hence for this question answer is going to be option B. So this is our correct option. Now let us see the second question. If two or more phases are present in a mixture, then it is called a dash mixture. So let us see the options. Heterogeneous mixture. Option B says homogeneous mixture. Option C says homologous mixture. Option D says heterologous mixture. So as we know that when we have two or more phases, that indicates it is a heterogeneous mixture. So hence option A is the correct answer. Let us move to the question number 3. Which out of the following is not homogeneous mixture? That indicates that which out of the following contains more than one components which are not miscible. Let us see the options. Air. Option B solution of salt dissolved in water. Option C solution of sugar in water, and option D smoke. Students, in the case of air we already studied the composition remains same throughout it. So hence air is an example for homogeneous mixture. So what remains same? It is a composition that remains same throughout it. So hence air is an example for homogeneous mixture. Whereas in the case of salt solution in water, here also that composition remains same throughout it. It is not going to vary, hence it is also example for homogeneous mixture. Even when we dissolve sugar in water, in this case also composition remains same, hence this solution is also example for homogeneous mixture. But in the case of smoke, composition that changes, it doesn't remain same, hence smoke is an example for the system that is heterogeneous in nature. Question is here, which one is not homogeneous? Hence answer is going to be option D, that is smoke. Now let us see the fourth question. Substance which cannot be decomposed into two different substances by chemical process are called. The substance which cannot be further decomposed into two or more different substances by any chemical reactions or process are called. Option A atoms, option B molecules, option C elements, option D compounds. Yes students, the answer is atoms which cannot be further divided into two or more substances. So here answer is atoms. See molecules, for example water is a molecule H2O, so that can be decomposed to form hydrogen and oxygen. By breaking the bond present between hydrogen and oxygen, we can get H2 and O2. So element, for example, I take O2 is an element. So by supplying the energy, we can break that one into two oxygen atoms. So compounds, any compound you can take, for example, methanol, I take it. So by decomposing this methanol, I can get carbon, I can get oxygen, and even I can get hydrogen also. So here answer is atoms. The fifth question is dash law of combining volumes states that whenever gases combine, they do so in simple ratio by volumes. So here we have options. Option A, Avogadro's law. Option B, Gay-Lussac's law. Option C, Dalton's law. And option D, Thomson's law. Students, you know that Avogadro's law. So Avogadro's law states that when we have equal volume of gases, consider I have two container of same volume and I am going to take in one hydrogen gas, another container oxygen gas. So what Avogadro's law states, equal volume of gases at all condition of same temperature and pressure. For example, let me take standard temperature and pressure 273 Kelvin and 180 atm pressure. So under same set of conditions of temperature and pressure, they contain same number of molecules. So same number of molecules we get. This is the law. So what is Avogadro's law? Under same set of conditions of temperature and pressure, equal volume of gases contain same number of molecules. Okay. What is Gay-Lussac's law? So Gay-Lussac's law related to combining of different gases to form the compound. So what he told, when two or more gases combine or formed in a chemical reaction, they do so in a simple ratio by volumes. So hence whatever statement given here in this question, it is related to Gay-Lussac's law. Hence answer is going to be Gay-Lussac's. So what is Dalton's law? It is related to atomic theory. He was the first one to give Dalton's atomic theory, where he told that the smallest indivisible particle of any substance can be called as atom. So like that he told some postulates, where Thomson's model is related to plum pudding model or watermelon model of an atom. So this is also related to atom only. So hence here answer comes out to be Gay-Lussac's law. Now let us see the sixth question. Pure water can be obtained from various sources, but it is always contains hydrogen and oxygen combined in a ratio of 1:8 by weight. This is an example of law of conservation of mass, Avogadro's law, law of definite composition, and the Gay-Lussac's law. Students, we know that. So this statement, whatever given in this question, it indicates law of definite composition. So it states that a given compound always contains exact same proportion of element by weight, irrespective of the method that you prepare. So it is law of definite composition. So what law of conservation of mass says? It says that matter can either be created nor be destroyed. And we already discussed two laws, Avogadro's law and Gay-Lussac's law. In Avogadro's law, we stated that equal volume of gases under same set of conditions of temperature and pressure contain equal number of molecules, where in Gay-Lussac's law we told when two gases combine, they do so in simple ratio by volume. Hence for this question, answer comes out to be option C. Let us see the seventh question. In sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide, the ratio of masses of oxygen, which combine with the fixed mass of sulfur is in 2:3 form. This is an example of the law. So it is an example for which law? Constant proportion, multiple proportion, reciprocal proportion, and option D, Gay-Lussac's. So we know that, students, it is related to multiple proportions. So what is that? See here, sulfur reacts with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. Similarly, sulfur reacts with the excess of oxygen to form sulfur trioxide. So this equation is not balanced. Let us balance that equation. So here I can balance this equation in this form. 3 by 2, 2 and 2 is going to cancel. That indicates 3 oxygen in the reactant side, 3 oxygen in the product side. So automatically what happens? From this equation 1, I have 1 O2 is 2. From equation 2, I have 3 by 2 O2. So let me multiply 2 on both sides. When I multiply, then I am going to get 2 O2 left hand side, 2 into 3 by 2 O2 in the right hand side. So here 2 and 2 cancels, remaining is 2 O2 is to 3 O2. In other words, I can say that the ratio of oxygen in the reaction 1 and reaction 2, this is the reaction 2, is in the form of 2 is to 3. Am I correct? So this is what we discussed in law of multiple proportion. So what we stated, student, we told that when two elements are combined for more than one product, sulfur and oxygen, they combine and give more than one product, then masses of one element combined with the fixed mass of other element are in the ratio of simple whole numbers. You can see here they are in the ratio of simple whole numbers. So it is nothing but law of multiple proportions. Now let us move to the next question. Question number 8, that is, among the following pairs of compounds, the one that illustrates the law of multiple proportion is, so option A in front of you, ammonia and nitrogen trichloride. Option B, hydrogen sulfide and sulfur dioxide. Option C, this is a CuO, cupric oxide and cuprous oxide, that is Cu2O. Option D, carbon disulfide and ferrous sulfate, FeSO4. Students, which one of these out of 4 indicate the law of multiple proportions? So what law of multiple proportion states? When two elements combine and for more than one product, then masses of one element combined with fixed mass of other element are in the simple whole number ratio. So automatically, so whatever two elements they combine, they should be the same. See, in the option A, we have nitrogen and hydrogen, nitrogen and chlorine. So two elements are different, hence this can't be the answer. In option B, hydrogen and sulfur, sulfur and oxygen, two elements are different. Option B can't be the answer. In option C, here we have copper and oxygen, here also copper and oxygen, hence this is going to be the correct option. Once again, in option D, what we have, carbon and sulfur, here iron and sulfur, no, not possible. Hence answer for this question is going to be option C. Now let us move to the next question. Mole is the SI unit of option A, volume, option B, pressure, option C, amount of substance, option D, density. So simple question. For this answer is amount of substance. Question number 10. Dash is the sum of the atomic masses of all the atoms as given in the molecular formula of the substance. So option A, molecular mass, option B, empirical mass or empirical weight, option C, percentage weight, option D, percentage volume. We know that the sum of atomic masses of different atoms given in a molecule is nothing but it is a molecular mass. Next question. 1 atomic mass unit is equal to, so it is nothing but definition we have to say, 1 by 12th mass of carbon 12, 1 by 14th mass of oxygen 16, 1 gram of hydrogen, 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 23 kilograms, we know by definition. So 1 AMU indicates it is 1 by 12th mass of an atom of carbon 12. So it is 1 by 12th mass of an atom of carbon 12, hence option A is the correct answer. Now let us move to the next question. The number of significant figures present in this 0.0500 are option A 1, option B 3, option C 2, option D 4. Students, here we have to apply two rules. The first rule says that 0 before non-zero digit are not significant. Zeros before non-zero digit, are not significant. This is what we know. Zeros before non-zero digit are not significant. Correct. So automatically here these two zeros are not significant. Clear? And next rule says that zeros present at the end or right hand side are significant only if they are present after the decimal point and right to the non-zero digit. See, of course this is present after the decimal point, but it is not present right to the non-zero digit. Hence this can't be significant. Only these two are significant. So total significant numbers are 3. Hence answer is going to be 3. I hope that you people understood that. Question number 13. Out of the following, the largest number of atoms are contained in 11 gram of carbon dioxide, 4 gram of hydrogen, 5 gram of ammonia, 8 gram of sulfur dioxide. Now let us solve and try to get the answer. So we know that carbon dioxide, its molecular mass is carbon is 12 plus oxygen is 16 into 2, that is 32. 32 plus 12 is 44. So gram molecular mass if I take, then 44 grams. Okay. So what we have in 44 grams, we already know we have Avogadro number of molecules. Na, let it be Na. I write Na. Na means 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. Okay. Then in 11 gram, how many we have? So automatically what I should do, simple cross multiplication, 11 into Avogadro number, Na 6.022. If it is required then I write, otherwise no. 44, it is nothing but Na by 4. Correct? 11 ones are 11 fours are. So it is nothing but 0.25 of Avogadro number. So this is in the case of option A. Let us see in the case of option B what I am going to get. Hydrogen, you know, its molecular mass is 2 grams. Hydrogen, so molecular mass is 2 grams. In 2 grams of hydrogen, we have Avogadro number of molecules. Correct? So he is given 4 grams. So if that is the case, then in 4 grams how many? So automatically 4 into Avogadro number divided by 2. So it comes out to be 2 into Avogadro number of molecules. That is in option B. In option C, ammonia they given nitrogen atomic number is 14, whereas hydrogen is 3, total together it is 17. Am I correct, students? So here in 17 gram of ammonia I have Avogadro number of ammonia molecules is given how many? 5 grams, right? So in 5 grams how many? So automatically it comes out to be 5 into Avogadro number divided by 17. So if I solve that, then it comes out to be 0.294 Avogadro numbers. The last one, option D, that is sulfur dioxide. Atomic mass of sulfur is 32 plus oxygen is 16, 2 are there, hence that also 32, 32 plus 32 is equal to 64 grams. In 64 grams, we have Avogadro number of sulfur dioxide molecules and is given 8 gram. How many we have? So it comes out to be 8 into Avogadro number divided by 64. 8 is that is 64, automatically Na divided by 8, nothing but 0.125 Avogadro number. So this is the smallest one. Next it is 0.25, next it is 0.294, but highest is 2 into Avogadro number, that is in the case of hydrogen, students. It is a 2 into Avogadro number, that is in the case of hydrogen. Hence, it is a hydrogen, 4 grams of hydrogen, that has the highest number of molecules present in it. Okay, but the question is the largest number of atoms. Okay, for that we have to find out the answer. So in one molecule, how many are there, students? In one molecule, 2 atoms are there. Automatically, here I should multiply this by 2. So I have 2 into Na number of molecules. In one I have 2. 2 into Na, then it is multiplied by 2. Total this becomes 4 Na here. Okay. Here how many I have, students? In the case of carbon dioxide, total 3 I have. So automatically 3 into 0.25 Na I have. In option C, that is in the case of ammonia, 4 I have. 4 into 0.294 Na I have. And in option D I have 3. So 3 into 0.125 Na I have. Still if I multiply with this here, 4 here and 3 here, I am not going to get the number that crosses 4 Avogadro numbers. So hence option is going to be B only. I hope that it is clear to you people. See here, Na indicates Avogadro number. If I multiply, then it becomes more complicated one. I used shortcut. What is that? I kept Na. Avogadro number I kept as Na. Okay, because Na is same in all 4 cases. Now let us move to the next question. The weight of the oxygen required to completely react with the 27 gram of aluminum is. So we have option A 8 grams, option B 16, option C 32 and option D 24 grams. Now let us try to solve this. Aluminium reacts with oxygen to form aluminium oxide. The formula is Al2O3. Let us balance this equation. 2 aluminum here, 3 oxygen, 2 oxygen here. So let me balance in this manner. 2 is going to cancel. So in terms of mass, atomic mass of aluminum is 27, that I know. So here 2 into 27, that is nothing but 54. This is a 27, okay. 2 into 27, that is nothing but 54. Here 2 cancels, remaining is 3. 3 into 16. What is the mass here? 3 into 16. That is nothing but 48 grams. So the question is weight of the oxygen required to completely, weight of the oxygen, mass of the oxygen required to completely react with 27 gram of aluminum. So that is what the question. For 54 grams, we require 48 gram of oxygen for complete reaction. For 27 grams of aluminum, how much we require? Just a simple cross multiplication. 27 into 48 divided by 54. It is nothing but 27 ones are 27 twos are. 48 by 2, it is nothing but 24 grams. So answer comes out to be 24 grams. Which option? That is option C. Okay. I hope that this is clear to you. Now let us move to the question number 15. Mass of sodium carbonate required to prepare 500 ml of 0.1 molar solution is option A 10.6, option B 5.3, option C 2.65 grams, option D 7.95 grams. Okay, students, we know the formula. Molarity is equal to mole divided by volume in liters. Am I correct? Volume in terms of liters. So here what they asked us to calculate? They asked us to calculate mass of sodium carbonate. Okay, first let us calculate the mole, and once we get mole, let us convert that one into mass. Clear? Molarity, they given 0.1 molar. Let me substitute that. So mole here divided by volume in liter, 500 ml, students. In class regular theory only we converted ml to volume. I hope that in complete exam, directly you write 500 ml means it is 0.5 liter, half liter, 0.5 liter, correct. Okay, so automatically it is nothing but number of moles equal to 0.5 into 0.1. It is nothing but 5 into 10 to the power minus 1 into 1 into 10 to the power minus 1. That is nothing but 5 into 10 to the power minus 2. These many moles I have. So number of moles of sodium hydroxide is equal to these many. Next, what I know actually, I know sodium carbonate, not sodium hydroxide, it's sodium carbonate. I know sodium carbonate molar mass. So let us calculate 2 into 23 plus 1 carbon means 12 plus 3 oxygen means 16. So 2 into this is a 46 plus 12 plus this is a 48. When I add all 3, I am going to get 106 grams. So what I know, which concept I know that 106 gram of sodium carbonate means 1 mole. Am I correct? So in other words, I can say that 1 mole of sodium carbonate is equal to 106 grams. Then 5 into what I have, 5 into 10 to the power minus 2 moles of sodium hydroxide means how many grams? So what I should do, 5 into 10 to the power minus 2 into 106 divided by 1. It comes out to be, it is nothing but 106 divided by 100, that is 1.06. 1.06 into 5, that comes out to be equal to 5.3. So this value comes out to be, students, 5.3. Hence answer is going to be option B. I hope that this concept is clear to you. Now let us move to the question number 16. Mass of a molecule of water is option A 3 into 10 to the power minus 26 kilogram, 3 into 10 to the power minus 25 kilogram, 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 25 kilogram, 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 26 kilograms. Let us find that. We know what we know. We know water. We know its molecular mass. What is that equal to? 2 plus 16, that is equal to 18. 1 hydrogen, 1 gram. 2 hydrogen, 2 gram. 2 plus 16, that is equal to 18. So we know this concept. 18 grams of water contains 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 water molecules. Am I correct? These many water molecules are present in it. Okay. So in other words, I can say that 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 water weighs, the mass of this is 18 gram. Then what is the mass of one water molecule? 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 water molecules weighs 18 gram. Then one water molecule weighs how much? So it is nothing but 18 into 1 divided by 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. And if I solve that, it comes out to be 3 into 10 to the power minus 23 grams, students. But in none of the answer we have, none of the options we have answer in terms of grams. They are present in kilogram. So how to convert this into kilogram? So we know the concept. What is the concept? 1000 gram means 1 kilogram. Then here I have 3 into 10 to the power minus 23 gram means how many kilograms? So once again 3 into 10 to the power minus 23 divide into 1, obviously, divided by 1000. So 3 into 10 to the power minus 23, 1000 can be written as a 10 to the power plus 3. If I take that to the numerator, then it comes to be 10 to the power minus 3. and when I add that one, it comes to be 3 into 10 to the power minus 26 kilograms, obviously, because 1000 gram means 1 kilogram. Hence, option comes out to be A, 3 into 10 to the power minus 26 kilograms. I hope that you understood it. Now let us move to the next one. Question number 17. The number of molecules in 8.96 liter of gas at 0 degrees Celsius and 1 atmospheric pressure. That is means standard condition, standard temperature and pressure. 0 degrees Celsius means it is nothing but 273 Kelvin. Okay, and 1 atm standard conditions. So we know the options. Let us see first. 6.02 into 10 to the power 23, 12.04 into 10 to the power 23, 18.06 into 10 to the power 23, and the last one 24.08 into 10 to the power 22. Okay, that's what the option they given. Now let us check it, which one is going to be the correct one. We know, students, what 22.4 liters of any gas contains Avogadro number of molecules 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. If that is the case, then 8.96 liter of any gas at standard temperature and pressure contains how many molecules? So let us do the cross multiplication. 8.96 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 divided by 22.4. Okay, so when I solve this, then this comes out to be, when I solve this, it comes out to be 2.408 into 10 to the power 23. But in none of the answer I have 2.408 into 10 to the power 23. But this can also written as 24.08 into 10 to the power 22. Right? Am I correct? So, but that option we have. It is option D. Next question. Number of molecules present in 4.25 gram of ammonia. Question option A 0.5 into 10 to the power 23. Option B 1.5 into 10 to the power 23. Option C 3.5 into 10 to the power 23. Option D 1.8 into 10 to the power 32. Let us solve that. They told ammonia it is NH3. Molar mass found to be 14 plus 3 hydrogen means plus 3, that is equal to 17. We know that 17 gram of ammonia that contains how many molecules? Avogadro number 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 ammonia molecules. So these many ammonia molecules are present in it. He is asking in 4.25 grams. So let us take that. 4.25 grams of ammonia. How many are there? That is what the question. So 4.25 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 divided by 17. If I solve that, it comes out to be 1.5 into 10 to the power 23. So where is option? Option B. So it is option B, correct one. Now let us move to the next question. Question number 19. The weight of sulfur dioxide formed when 20 gram of sulfur is burned in excess of oxygen. So let us solve that. Before that, let us see the options. A 32 grams, B 64 grams, C 40 grams, and D is 60 grams. So let us write the reaction. Sulfur plus oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. We know here sulfur atomic mass 32, oxygen 16 plus 16, that is 32 only. The weight of sulfur dioxide formed when 20 gram of sulfur is burnt. Okay, so here I know the concept. When 32 gram of sulfur is burnt, I am going to get sulfur dioxide molar mass is 32 plus 32, that is nothing but 64. So when 32 gram is completely burnt in the presence of excess of oxygen, I am going to get 64 grams of sulfur dioxide. When 20 gram I burn completely in the presence of excess oxygen. So why excess? Sulfur, let it be limiting, but not oxygen, students. So when it is completely burnt, how much mass of sulfur dioxide is going to form? 20 into 64 divided by 32. It is very simple. It is 2 times. It is nothing but 40 grams. Option C. So which option is correct? Option C. Now let us move to the question number 20. Number of molecules in 100 ml of each oxygen, ammonia and carbon dioxide at standard temperature and pressure are in the order of ammonia, that is more than oxygen, that is more than carbon dioxide, in the order of carbon dioxide, that is more than oxygen, that is more than ammonia. All are same. Ammonia and carbon dioxide number of molecules are same, but they are less than number of molecules of oxygen. Students, what is the answer? 100 ml of each, he told. Just recall, we stated one law called Avogadro's law. What we told? Equal volume of all gases under same set of conditions of temperature and pressure contain equal number of molecules. So he told 100 ml, volume remains same, hence number of molecules also remain same. Hence for this question, option is going to be option C. Now let us move to the next question, that is question number 21. The largest number of molecules present. Option A 34 gram of water, option B 28 gram of carbon dioxide, option C 46 grams of methanol, methyl alcohol, option D 54 grams of dinitrogen pentoxide. Let us find out the answer for this question, students. Let us solve one by one. So what we know, water, its molar mass is 18 grams. Am I correct? So we know that 18 grams of water contains Avogadro number. Let it be Na, so that we can easily get the answer. Compare and we can get the answer. If that is the case, then 44 grams contains how many water molecules? 34 grams, of course. 34 into Avogadro number divided by 18. So 34 by 18 is 1.88 Avogadro number of molecules present in the case of option A. In the case of option B, carbon dioxide, repeatedly we calculated its molar mass is 44 grams. We know once again 44 gram means it is Avogadro number of carbon dioxide molecules. Then 28 gram means obviously less than Avogadro number. 28 into Ne Avogadro number divided by 44, it is nothing but 0.636 Avogadro numbers, lesser than option A. Now let us see option C, methanol, methyl alcohol. So 1 carbon, 12, 1 oxygen, 16, 4 hydrogen, 4. So total together it becomes equal to 32. So once again 32 gram means it is Avogadro number of molecules. Here is given 46 grams, obviously greater than Avogadro number. 46 into Avogadro divided by 32. So it comes out to be, this value comes out to be 1.4325 Avogadro number. Students, now option D, let us see that dinitrogen pentoxide. So that is 2 into 14, that is 28 plus 5 into 16. So when I add these two, it comes out to be 108. 108 contains Avogadro number, then he is asking 54, that means half of the Avogadro number. Am I correct? So into 54 divided by 108. This is nothing but 0.5 of Avogadro number. So in this case 0.5 I have, in this case 1.43 I have, in this case I have 0.63, in this case I have 1.88. So this comes out to be larger number. Hence, it is a 34 grams of water that contains more number of molecules out of these four options. Now let us see the next question. 2 gram of oxygen contains number of atoms equal to that in 0.125 gram of hydrogen, 4 gram of hydrogen, option C 7 gram of nitrogen, and option D 2.3 grams of sodium. Okay, let us solve this question, students. Oxygen atomic mass is 16 grams, we know that. 16 gram contains Avogadro number of oxygen atoms. 1 oxygen 16 grams. Then 2 gram contains how many oxygen atoms? Avogadro number into 2 by 16, it is nothing but 1 by 8. Avogadro number, that is nothing but 0.125 Avogadro number. So let us check in out of these four options which one has this 0.125 Avogadro numbers. Hydrogen atomic mass 1 gram contains Avogadro number and is told that 0.125 gram contains how many. So obviously this comes out to be the answer, Na divided by 1. So this itself is the answer, option A. Why not option B is correct? Let us check that. We know hydrogen once again. 1 gram contains Avogadro, then 4 gram contains 4 into Avogadro. So this can't be the answer. Why not C is the wrong answer? Nitrogen means 14 grams. 14 gram contains Avogadro number of nitrogen atoms. Then 7 gram contains how many? 7 into Avogadro divided by 14, nothing but 0.5. Half of Avogadro. So this can't be the answer. Why not option D? Sodium 23 grams atomic mass that contains Avogadro. Then 2.3. So if I multiply 2.3 into Na by 23, this is nothing but 10 times. It is nothing but 0.1 of Avogadro. That also can't be the answer. Option. This is our correct answer. That is nothing but option A. 23. Molecular weight of the gas is 44. The volume occupied by 2.2 gram of gas is option A 1.12 liter, option B 1.14 liter, option C 2.24 liter, option D 5.6 liter. So let us calculate that. We know that at STP 44 gram of gas occupies 22.4 liter. Why I wrote like this? Because he told this is a molecular weight. I know molecular weight of any gas occupies the volume of 22.4 liters at STP. So I take that. Then 2.2 gram occupies how much? This is what I know. So then 22.4 into 2.2 divided by 44. If I do, then it comes out to be equal to 1.12 liters. So which one is the correct? Option A is the correct answer. Next question number 24. The number of moles of sodium oxide in 620 gram of it. Option A 1 mole, option B 10 moles, option C 18 moles, and option D 100 moles. Let us find out. Sodium oxide, the formula of it may be like this, Na2. So 23 into 2 plus 1 oxygen 16. 46 plus, this is the 46 plus 16, that is equal to, comes out to be 62. So 62 grams as means 62 grams means 1 mole, then 620 gram means how many moles? 620 into 1 divided by 62, it is nothing but 10 times. And answer comes out to be 10 moles. Which one is the correct option? Option B. The last question of this session, students. Which of the following contains only one element? Marble, diamond, glass, sand. We know that glass contains silica, even sand also has silica, SiO2, more than one element. Marble is made up of more than one element, that we know already. It is a diamond that is made up of only one element in it. What is that? Only carbon, carbon. In three-dimensional arrangement, tetrahedral, each carbon atoms are arranged, and that leads to the formation of diamond that is very hard, has high melting point. So hence here option comes out to be diamond, option B. Thank you, students.